Hey everyone. I just finished making the exam for review and I'm sitting here waiting for it to upload. And I thought I would make another one of these quick videos with my molecules here. I've pre-built it because it's a little bit more complex than what we looked at last time. And I don't know quite how if this is going to be the most evocative way to show it, even though this is the most realistic way to show it. But this is one chemical molecule of morphine. Morphine, the delicious narcotic medication that our patients are often hoping that we'll give them because it has a very pleasant effect to it for most people. Now, what's interesting about morphine, or what makes it a good example, I guess I should say, is that if we take this morphine that's just like this and make a couple quick modifications to it, I'm just going to add on a few pieces here, a couple of bonds. This molecule, which probably, watching this on the video doesn't look really any different at all, but I'll point out that this piece is new. This molecule has a bit of a tail that the other one didn't have. There's a double bond here where there used to be a single bond, and we added this little hydroxyl group right here, which I know is a lot of chemistry for something that is not a chemistry class. But those couple changes, and this is now naloxone. All I've really taken away is this. I've taken this one hydroxyl group off, and I've added it here instead, and I've added a little extra hydrocarbon tail here, and I've turned this morphine into naloxone. Now, keep in mind that morphine is an opioid agonist, and naloxone is an opioid antagonist. So when this was still naloxone, which I will not change it exactly back, but I'll just remove the couple main things. We can imagine that if this had some little, receptor that was like a mold of this shape, and this was able to sit down into that mold, then when I add these back to it, this shape isn't too different, and this can now still sit down in that same mold and block a morphine that was trying to come in from getting to that receptor, and this naloxone can block it off for the time being and prevent more opioids from attaching themselves onto the system. Now, just because I think that this 3D view, although it's cool, might not be the most evocative way to show it, I'll pull up my computer screen here and we can see these are the structures that I used to actually build this, and it's incredible how similar they really are. We can see that what was once this hydroxyl group, this oxygen bonded to hydrogen, is now just an oxygen and it's double bonded. We added a hydroxyl group here, and we added this little tail that wasn't there before, and we've transformed morphine into naloxone. And there's lots of these sorts of images that you can look at. Let me open up this big one just because it's a good example, I think, where we can see how similar all of these different structures are. And that makes sense because we need all of these different structures to be able to fit into the same receptors. And we see a lot of the same things changing on each of them. So from morphine to naloxone, this hydroxyl becomes a ketone, or an aldehyde in this case, I believe. It's been a while since I took organic chemistry. And then from morphine to heroin, this hydroxyl becomes a carboxylic acid group. And then if we look here from dihydrocodeine to morphine, what are we seeing for a change here? I can't even tell what the difference is. Oh, here it is. This hydroxyl group has now become an ether, which is where we have this oxygen and it's got an extra carbon on the end over here. So all of these structures are very similar, which makes sense because they all need to, as we've said in class, all of these keys need to be able to fit into the same lock. They all need to be able to fit into those same opioid receptors. And I just thought that would be one of the cool, interesting things to put together quickly. It's not covered on this exam much. I mean, narcotics are a kind of toxicology, but more just a brief thing that I did while I was waiting for this 2 hour long exam video to slowly upload so I could post it. So, best of luck to you all on the exam. This was just another short, fun one, and I'll see you on Monday.